Ghouls and Gals, and welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, hi, my name is Hillary, and if you guys aren't new here, well, I appreciate you. Tonight we're going to be covering the Queen Mary, which is a big ship, and it is one of the 10 most haunted places in the world, so I'm excited. Let's get into it. The RMS Queen Mary was manufactured in Scotland, and it was an ocean liner. It was meant for rich people, mostly rich people, to go across the ocean and go to their destinations. It sailed the North Atlantic Ocean from 1936 to about 1967 before it was docked permanently in Long Beach, California. This boat has seen about 49 deaths, I believe, since it was an active ship, and that's probably why it's really haunted. The Queen Mary is also really big. I believe it is 2 times or 3 times as big as the Titanic, so it big. When World War II began in 1939, the ship was changed into a transport ship that would transport our troops or allied troops to where they needed to go. And from that point on, the Queen Mary wasn't known as the Queen Mary, but the name changed to the Grey Ghost. It was a nickname that the guys gave her. She transported, I think, 800,000 troops, and they used to just be jamming people on there. Like, it didn't see this many people before when she was just a cruise liner. Now they were just stuffing soldiers on there and getting them to where they need to be. In 1942, while the Queen Mary was carrying about 10,000 troops, she ran into another boat right in the middle and sliced her on in half. And I believe the majority of the people kind of sunk. Like, she was forced to leave about 239 people in the water, like, just to drown. So now that we're past all this history, we're gonna start diving into the ghosts. One of the most haunted rooms in this boat is B340. And B340 used to be, I think, about 3 staterooms, and now it is created into 1. And they've just recently opened this room so that if you wanted to go visit and have some, like, ghostly experiences, you can. Although it's going to cost you quite a lot. I think it's like $499, and if you're Canadian like me, that's a lot of guap. Screams, noises, and other bangs have been heard in the boiler room, where an 18-year-old ghost who would wear overalls, I believe he used to work on the ship, actually got crushed by a door, like severed in half. He's not the first one either that has been crushed by this door. The ship's Queen Salon also has many reports of things happening, and specifically a woman in white. I'm going to try to add a photo in here, and you can see, like, decide if this is a person. So here it is. Now right there at the end of the hallway in that red circle is supposed to be the lady in white. It's said that she glides across the floor and dances to an orchestra that no one can hear, so she's just moving around. And it's believed that a lot of these ghosts just attach themselves to things in the ship, like the furniture that was left or personal belongings, because a lot of this stuff has been there for years. So now I'm gonna go through the ghosts name by name. I know I've already mentioned, like, the white lady and the guy who died. I'm gonna go by their names and just a little snippets of their story. So here we go. So the first ghost we are going to go over is Little Jackie. Jacqueline Torn was about 5 or 6 when she drowned in the pool in the Queen Mary. I believe it was the ship's 2nd-class pool, which is now renovated into the Royal Theatre. Many visitors have said that they've heard little Jackie screaming for her parents and splashing around in the pool. A lot of people actually believe that Jackie has a friend named Sarah who actually drowned in the exact same pool in 1949. Although, as far as I know, I don't think that there are reports of like children drowning in the pool, but I don't know. There seems to be a ghost there, so. The next ghost is a ghost named John Henry. Now, John Henry was the 18-year-old boy that got severed in half in the boiler room, and it's said that if you go and try to speak to him, he likes to talk about beer. So that's nice. Unlike Jackie, John Henry's remains were actually found in the boat, and it's said that he is a shadowy figure that will appear to people who are visiting. Our next ghost's name is Grumpy. He is supposed to be one of Queen Mary's most memorable ghosts. He apparently growls a lot. Like Grumpy the Growler, He's growling at people. He's said to lurk under the stairs near the first class swimming pool, and he will growl at you. He will creep you out, and he's also said to go hang out with John Henry in the boiler room, so this ghost seems to be traveling from place to place. Our next ghost is Captain Treasure Jones. And Captain Treasure Jones was the last active captain on the Queen Mary. He captained the ship from 1965 to 1967 and actually was the captain who docked the ship in Long Beach. So he was the one for the final voyage. He was the last captain. Now, he was big in the media for this because it was a big deal, this famous ship being docked. So he got a lot of recognition for this. He died in 1993 and he was in his 80s. And a lot of people say that he loved cigars. So it's been known on the ship that in certain places you can smell cigar smoke even though no one's smoking cigars. And they believe that this is the spirit of the captain. Now the next ghost that we're going to talk about's name is Dana. I don't know if I pronounced that wrong. You guys can tell me if it's Dana or Dana. I think it's D-A-N-A. Dana. Okay. So Dana's story is one of the creepiest stories on the boat. It's said that her and her entire family were murdered in the stateroom B474. The killer strangled Dana's mother and sister on their bed and then apparently shot Dana in the bathroom. Now, if we go back to room 340, B340, I don't know if this is the killer of Dana, but it's said that there was a man that killed a family and they actually put him in one of the rooms that is now B340 and they locked him in there kind of like as a holding cell until the police could come. Now, they had a guard who was posted outside this door, and it said that the guard could hear him, like something's going on in the room, and the guy started screaming for help. The guard obviously thought that he was messing around and he wanted to escape, so he didn't check on him. And in the morning when they went to go look on him, this guy was dead, and I believe he might have been like hacked up a bit. So he was murdered in the room, and they don't know how anyone got in, because if you look, the windows of the boat, like they're high off the ground, so people don't know how someone got in to murder this guy. Now, it's said in room B340 that lights will turn on and off by themselves. So if you're sleeping and you wake up to your light on, ghosts are known to do that. They're also known to turn your taps on and off. So you're not washing your hands, but a ghost turning your tap on. And it's not just the visitors, but a lot of maids would complain as well. They would complain that no one has stayed in this room for a certain amount of time, and they would go in and all the taps would be running and all the lights would be on and they didn't know why. Other phenomenon occurring around the ship is sounds of distinct knocks, doors slamming, high-pitched squeals, and drastic temperature changes, as well as phones ringing in the middle of the night, and when you answer, there is nobody on the other line. In the third class playroom, it said that a little boy can be heard crying, and he supposedly died in the ship not long after his birth. Now I'm actually going to read off one of the ghost stories that they printed on the walls in room B340 because they're really hyping up this ghost thing. So I figured I'd just read one of the quotes for you. My family and I were up on the bridge looking around, and I wandered off by myself into the chart room. There was only one other guest besides myself in the room, and he left right after I entered. As I looked at the chart on the table where they would lay out the maps trying to find the Queen Mary, I felt someone tug at the back of my shirt, just above my left shoulder. When I turned around to see if it was one of my family members, I felt a chill and realized that there was no one else in the chart room. I left the room immediately. This was the first time anything like this had ever happened to me. Now I'm going to read off the second one that is also printed on the wall. I'm not going to read all of them, but I'm going to read two of them. So here is the next one that is also printed on the wall in the Queen Mary. I was doing my rounds on the ship when I noticed that a normally secure room was unlocked. I looked inside and saw a little girl standing in the room. She looked at me, stretched her arms out towards me, and then disappeared from the room. Now, with all this being said, it's up to you guys if you think this boat is haunted. And if you guys are willing to go visit or maybe even stay in room B340, I would love to hear it. I'm hoping one day I can go, but I gotta wait because it's a lot of money. So thank you to everybody who is watching, and I hope to see you guys on my next video. Thanks, guys. Bye.